In Chicago, 1942, as the sun rose, the massive iron doors of Southside Steel creaked open. Inside, a line of weary black men, their coveralls stained with oil, marched into the heart of the factory. The war had brought them jobs, but these jobs were a brutal bargain, endless hours choked with smoke, for pay that was a fraction of a white man's wage. For Elijah Brooks, this work meant survival, a way to feed his family and hold his head high. But after 3 years on the furnace line, the injustice was a constant burn. He watched as less experienced white workers were promoted, while he and his brothers were given the most dangerous tasks, the longest shifts, and the smallest paychecks. Voicing a complaint was met with a simple, cold threat: be grateful you even have a job. But Elijah carried a different kind of fire within him, one sparked by his father's tales of freedom marches and labor strikes, stories of the power found in unity. So when he heard whispers of a new union local being formed by the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters, the first black-led union to secure a national charter, he knew he had to be there. The meeting was held in the cramped basement of a local church. 40 men sat shoulder to shoulder, the air thick with sweat and a powerful, unfamiliar feeling: hope. At the front stood Curtis James, a former porter whose voice boomed like thunder. "They tell us we should be happy just to have a seat at the table," Curtis roared, his fist hitting the podium. "But what kind of seat is it if we're chained to it? We are not just bodies. We are the muscle, the backbone of this factory. Without us, the line doesn't move. The steel doesn't pour. The war machine stops." A wave of cheers erupted, and in that moment Elijah became a union man. They called themselves Local 1936, the Iron Brotherhood. Their movement started in the shadows. They meticulously documented grievances, trained leaders on the factory floor, and quietly built bridges with white workers who shared their vision for a fairer workplace. The resistance was immediate. When management tried to fire Curtis for so-called insubordination, the entire night shift walked out in solidarity. The walkout made headlines, it made powerful enemies, but most importantly, it made history. By 1944, the pressure was too much for Southside Steel to ignore. They were forced to recognize the union. For the first time, black workers were guaranteed equal pay scales, crucial safety protections, and a real voice in their own future. At the contract signing, Elijah looked across the union hall. He saw the older men, who once had to bow their heads to the foreman, now standing with their chins held high. He saw the younger generation, like his own nephew, who would grow up understanding the strength that comes from standing together. Elijah turned to Curtis, his voice filled with emotion. "We built more than just steel in this place," he said. "We built power." Curtis put a hand on his shoulder and smiled. "No, brother. We just remembered we always had it." While this story is a fictional account, it reflects the very real and courageous struggles of black labor organizers throughout American history. From A. Philip Randolph's groundbreaking Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters to the pivotal sanitation strikes of the civil rights era, African American workers have consistently used solidarity and unwavering courage to fight for justice, reshaping the landscape of labor and civil rights in this country forever. Thank you so much for watching. If this story moved you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of the unsung heroes who shaped our world. We'll see you in the next video.